I just realized so many more people are on. Okay. All right, guys. Team Liberate call. It is February 26th, Monday, and we have such an amazing rock star on our call tonight. Her name is Kate Morgan. I'm sure you've heard her name or seen her name at the top of the Success Club boards in the Team Boom page or the Boom fan. Sorry, I don't want to spill that. Anyway, I am so excited to have her talk on our team call tonight because I know I was wondering what it is that she's doing that's giving her all the success that she's seeing, especially as a newish coach. What's it been? Just over a year, right? A year and 3 months? You've been a coach for 3 months? No, you haven't. Wait, unmute yourself. I need to unmute you.
Yeah, I started December 1st.
I thought it was like last December.
No, this December.
Holy shit. Well, that just like puts things into like so much more perspective for me. Anyway, oh my God, really?
Yes, December 1st.
So what SC did you get your very first month?
Like 44, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow. It's like effed up. Okay, well, I got to meet Kate. It's like my mind is like blown. I met Kate when I was in California for the NLC conference. She is a personally sponsored coach of Ashley Fell Dyson, and Ashley was there with me for the conference, and so we got to hang out with Kate a little bit, and so her and I met, and that's kind of where it all started. I'm in shock. Anyway, I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be.
Oh, you didn't know that.
I don't know. I was just like in my head, I was like, because you even said today, like I was only a coach last year for like a month. It didn't even process.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so she's having a lot of success. I know, before I had met her, I was wondering what she was doing. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what she's up to. And she's actually going to speak on the team call tomorrow night, on Team Boom call tomorrow night. And she's speaking later in the week in the Dash to Diamond group, if you're in that group. So I asked Kate to come on here and just kind of share some of the things that she's doing, because I think it's really powerful to hear it straight from her that, she's not doing anything crazy. And I'm sure that's what she's going to tell you about. It's all you, babe.
All right. I'm going to exit out my Facebook so it doesn't sleep.
I'm going to mute myself just because I have a million notifications.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm super excited. So I'm going to just kind of go over, like, my story briefly, since Brooke doesn't seem to know it. Okay, so almost 2 years ago now, my fiance, who was my boyfriend at the time, we moved out to California, and we grew up in Colorado, and we just decided to jump and move to California. So I had a teaching job. It was my first year teaching, and we moved to California. He did not have a job. He was trying to get into the Sheriff's Academy for Orange County. So when they're going through that process, they can't actually have a full-time job because of all the training and testing and stuff. So we were living off of my teaching paycheck, which isn't much, and living in California especially. And then it was my first year teaching, and I also taught, so I teach in LA, but I live in Orange County, and I actually taught in the projects last year. So as my first year teaching, I was teaching 36 first graders in the projects. I had a classroom full of cockroaches, and I was one of the only, I was also one of the only white people in the community. So it was a lot. It was a lot for a first-year teacher. It was a lot for someone that was new to California, away from her family. And it was about in, December that I just started spiraling. And I talk about it as, spiraling because I'd have, really good days, and then I'd have really bad days. And so then in December, we actually went to visit Curtis's parents, and we were at the point where we didn't know if he was going to be accepted in the academy. And we were getting really nervous because it was coming down to the wire, and we had opened up credit cards in order to pay off any groceries, gas, anything to just survive. And at one point we actually told Curtis's parents we were going to have to move back in with them, or move in with them. We'd never lived with them. But we were going to have to move in with them in Arizona because we couldn't afford it anymore. And literally the next day he got the call that he got in the academy. So that was in January. It was right after Christmas. And things started looking up, but then I started getting burnout. And if any of you guys are teachers or were teachers, first year teaching just sucks in general. And when you're away from your family and you have such an intense environment that you're teaching in, it gets that much worse. And so I had gained, in student teaching alone, I had gained 15 pounds. And then in my first year teaching, I gained another 15. And so I went to the doctor for just a checkup, and I was so burnt out and tired and unhealthy that when she told me you need to lose weight, you need to lose like 25 pounds, I started bawling. And she just like listened to me. I told her how my commute was an hour and a half one way, so 3 hours in the car every day, teaching all day long from 7 to 4, and she just listened. And then as I was leaving, I was looking at the patient summary form, and it said, it had a doctor's note that said, quit your job and take care of yourself. And so I was like, I actually have a doctor's note to quit my job, because it was that bad. So I stuck out the year and I found a new job, but it was in March that Ashley Feldison reached out to me and asked me to join her challenge group because I liked her transformation picture. So on Instagram. So she reached out to me to join her challenge group. I said yes within like 10 minutes because being an athlete my whole life and then gaining like 30 pounds in a year and a half, it was too much for me. So I started doing a challenge group. I did a challenge group for like a month, and this was in March of 2017, so almost a year ago now. Did a challenge group for like a month, and then I quit. And I stopped doing Shakeology, and I stopped doing my workouts, and I still stayed really, really close with Ashley and Lauren Lethierry. They're actually both bridesmaids in my wedding because that's how close we are. But I quit Beachbody altogether. So I wasn't doing my workouts. I stopped my Shakeology, everything, for 8 months. And I found a new job. Curtis graduated the academy. Everything was a lot better. But I could feel myself going back into the depression and the cycle that I started the year before this last October. So I started feeling unfulfilled. I started feeling burnt out. I was bored with just going to school and teaching. And I still hadn't lost the weight. I'm still the same weight. And so it was the last day of November of this last November, Brooke. And I texted Lauren and Ashley and I said, okay, tell me about this coaching thing and don't BS me. Like, tell me all the details. Do you actually make money doing this? Like, what's the requirement? What do I need to do? Like, blah, blah, blah. So Lauren told me all the details. I screenshotted the details to my fiance, sent it to him, and he told me to go for it. So I signed up December 1st, 2017. So I'll be a coach for 3 months on one Thursday. And so, but I'm also the type of person that, like, if I'm going to commit to something, like, I'm going all in and I'm not going to half-ass it, for lack of a better word. So basically, I started December 1st. I hit Emerald in my first week. I hit Diamond in my first 3 weeks. And I hit Success Club, I think 44 in December, and then 56 last month. And then this month, I'm at 46. And I'm here to tell you that, like, that's not special. Like, I'm not doing anything different than you guys hear every single time you get on a national wake-up call or you get on a team call. I'm literally going to tell you the exact same things that you have heard over and over again, but maybe this time it will click. So I'm basically going to go over, like, the 5 things that I do that I think make my business successful. And if you guys have questions, like, feel free to drop them in the chat and I can answer them, like, as I go or at the end. So my number 1 tip is focus on your journey. And I was talking to Brooke about this and I was like, it actually blows my mind how on the weekends I don't send invites. I don't really, like, try to sign people up. I don't try to hit Success Club. I don't do any of that stuff, but I focus on my own journey so deeply on the weekends especially, and I'm on my social media constantly on the weekends, especially because Curtis has been working the weekends the last few months, and I sign more people up on the weekends and I'm not reaching out to them. And I think it's because there's the quote, like, when you focus on yourself, everything else will fall into place. And I really do believe that when you focus on your own journey and your own health and fitness, and you just let that passion and like vision shine through, people want to be a part of it. If you're going and you're hunting for people, like no one wants that. And so I sign more people, not just more people up on the weekends, but I sign more of my tribe up. And I think it's because on the weekends I'm more authentically myself. And I just am consistent, especially on the weekends, as far as like my workouts, my nutrition, sharing what I'm doing. And so people want to be a part of it. So if you get anything from this call, know that you need to focus on your own journey first. There's lots of times where I start to focus on the business side. Actually, like this last week, I've been focusing really hard on the business side because I'm trying to like change things up for this coming month. And my workouts have sucked. My nutrition sucked. And so, and I also didn't sign, I maybe signed one person up. So focus on yourself first, your own health and fitness journey, not your business. And everything else is just going to come. But, you know, no one wants to sign up with someone that's not walking the walk. You can't just talk the talk. So focus on your journey first. Second, your actions have to match your goals. So my goal at the end of this year is to have a 6-figure business and by fall of 2019, be able to retire from teaching. That doesn't, because of that goal, working an hour every couple days isn't going to get me there. Even an hour a day isn't going to get me there. So whatever your goal is, you need to set action steps that match that goal. If your goal is to just pay for your Shakeology every month, or, you know, have a couple extra $100 at the end of the month, then you can probably get away with doing a power hour 5 days a week. And that'll probably get you to your goals after you're consistent. But if you want to be at the top of the network and you want to be a top coach, and you want to make $1,000 a week plus, then you have to put the time and the work in. Brooke asked me the other day, like, how many invites do you send? And I had to like really think about it. And I probably send every week if I'm focusing on invites for that week, because I have a different like weekly focus depending on the time of the month. And I probably send between 300 and 500 invites a week. So the reason I'm hitting Success Club 56 or Success Club 46 is because I am talking to so many people, and I'm spending my power hour, that entire hour is talking to people, because that's where you're going to find your tribe. That's where you're going to find your rockstar coaches. If you send 25 invites every night, realistically, probably 23 of them are going to ignore you or say no. I mean, the other day I sent 75 invites and I had 10 people respond and 2 people signed up. So like with that ratio, you have to think like big picture. Also thinking that the invites you send this month are going to be your Success Club numbers next month. So whatever invites you're sending, whatever invites I sent in January, pretty much all of them were my Success Club points this month. It was me following up and planting the seeds back in a month ago or 2 months ago. I had people in December. I had a person in December who told me no. I had 2 people that told me no in December, and one of them, she signed up a week ago and she's at Success Club 24 or 34. And then another one, she's a new coach too, but they ignored me or said no in December and signed up this month. So even if people are ignoring you or they're saying no, you're planting the seeds, and those people are going to be the people that sign up next month or the month after. And so when you think about it like that, I think it's less scary to send invites because people are going to start watching you. So even if you I hate when I send a solid invite. I'm like, this one's good. This girl's going to respond. And then I see that she saw it and she hasn't responded at all for days. But I know that now she's like, I don't even know if I like see her page that much. So then she's going to go to my page and she's going to look at my feed and she's going to watch my stories. And one thing I think I do really well are my stories. I story everything. I story like me jamming out to whatever song in the car. I story polls about if you like pulp or no pulp in your orange juice. I'll get out of the shower with like a black ring raccoon of mascara that I didn't take off before the shower and ask people if this ever happens to them. And I get like 600 responses on the polls. But if I do a poll about health and fitness, I get 4 and they're like my coaches. They are watching. And I think it's so funny when you do a poll about health and fitness and like no one responds to it, but you do a poll about something else and like all your followers respond. Like that's how you know that they're watching. And so you just have to keep adding valuable content to your feed so that they're not like, oh, this girl's just health and fitness. Like that's all she is. Like think about the things that make you you. Like for me, like I am a health and fitness coach. I'm a teacher. I'm a dog mom. Like I'm literally obsessed with my dog. I like the outdoors and like I live in California, so I'm outside all the time. And then I do like a lot of like outfit of the days, and then I also connect with like police wives. So like think about the like 3 to 5 things that make you you, and those are the things you post about. Like your feed should not just be health and fitness. If I follow any of you and your entire feed is health and fitness, like there's a problem. So think about like what makes you you. And that goes into my next point is be authentic on your social media in order to find your tribe without hunting. And this is something I got from Get Over Your Damn Self, the book. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest it. They said one of the rules for marketing in that book is stop hunting. And so I think so many times we are trying to hunt for the perfect coach, or we're trying to find these challengers that are going to turn into coaches. And so we're trying really hard and we're getting nowhere, or we're posting and we're trying to reach everyone and we're reaching no one. So post to your tribe. What would the other Brooks of the world need to hear right now? Like pre-Beachbody. What would the other Kates of the world pre-Beachbody need to hear right now? And post to that girl. Post to those girls that, you know, I post to the girls that are bored, like being in their comfort zone. I just posted about this today, is that like I get so bored being in my comfort zone that I need something to challenge me and push me outside my comfort zone, which is talking on team calls. Like I was never a public speaker ever, and I'm always so nervous before these, but it just helps me grow. So find the other yous, like, but don't hunt for them, because if you're hunting for them, you're going to miss. And so just being authentically yourself on your social media and talking about, like, if you're a mom, talk about mom problems. Like this one girl who was on one of my team calls, she was working out and her kid peed in her slider, like on her Instagram story. And like she could have just deleted the story and like tried to make it perfect, but like that was authentically her life. And people loved it. I think she signed up like 10 people that day because they're like, oh my God, like we're so relatable in that way. Like, tell me about this workout you were doing before your child peed in your slider. So post things that are authentically yourself. I think I get a lot of response when I post, because most of my people are teachers. And so like when I post like crazy stuff kids tell me or like say, and I'm like, you are the weirdest 12-year-old in the entire world, but I love you anyways. Like people react to that because they've been through it. They can relate to it. And then you start a conversation and you become like Insta friends, and then all of a sudden they want to know what program you're doing. So lead with who you are first and then bring in health and fitness. Okay. And then my next tip is busy is not your superpower or your badge of honor. This one speaks to me because I was the queen of using the excuse, I'm too busy. That's why I stopped. That's why I quit Beachbody altogether when I was in that challenge group last year. And it was, I'm too busy. I'm too busy trying to find a new job. We're moving. Curtis is graduating the academy. Like, that was it. That's all I had going on in my life. And I thought I was busy. And I tell this all the time to people, is I am the busiest person I've ever been in my entire life, but I'm the happiest and most fulfilled. And because of this. And so now I still have an hour commute every day. I am planning a wedding. I'm a full-time teacher. I coach middle school basketball. I do this. And then like I have my family and like my social life. I wake up at 4 a.m. to get my workouts in, and I don't really go to bed until like 10. So when people tell me they're too busy, I'm like, no. Like, I don't accept that. I don't accept that excuse. And I'm also a very tough love person. And so when people are like, I'm a mom, I have kids, and blah, blah, blah. Thank you. I just got Chipotle delivered. Anyways, I am like, oh, really? I have this girl on my team who is a mom of 2 girls under the age of 3. She's doing a principal internship. She's in grad school. She's a full-time teacher, and she's doing this. So please tell me again how you're too busy with your full-time job and your 1 graduate class you're taking. And like, that's the thing too, is that when I'm talking to my tribe, like, I'm not looking, and this might sound like mean, but I'm not looking for employees. I'm looking for business partners. Like, if you're not ready to do this and work hard at it, then like, I don't want you to dive into something that you're not ready for. I do have coaches on my team that are hobby coaches, and that's fantastic, but they also still work at it. Like, their goals are smaller than like what my goal would be, but they still work towards the goals, and they don't need their hands held. Whereas like I have other people who are like, I want to be a premier coach this year. I'm like, okay, let's freaking sprint. And so they're sprinting alongside me. The difference between like, I don't want employees, I want business partners, or like, I don't want someone that needs me to tell them what to do. I will be there to support you, and I'll be there to give you the trainings and the tools and the resources that you need, because that's one of my favorite parts about this entire business, is building those relationships with people and helping people build their own business. But I can't want it for you, and I can't do it for you. If you're telling me that you're sending 50 invites a night and you're not hitting Success Club 5 at all, then I don't necessarily believe that you're actually working. So something I always tell my girls are you actually working? And so that's the same thing with like busy. Like, if people are telling me they're too busy, I'm always like, write down your schedule, like time block. You need to stay organized. If you have a lot going on, which everyone is busy in their own way. So if you have a lot going on, then you need to schedule out your time. So that goes into my last tip, which is stay organized and create systems that work for you. So Asana, Brooke knows how I feel about Asana. I think Asana is the biggest time suck in the entire world. And there are going to be top coaches that tell you that it is like the biggest, like the best thing about their business, and that's like the thing that like keeps them going. And I'm going to tell you right now that for me, because of the amount of invites I send and the amount of people I talk to, that I'm wasting like an hour, 45 minutes on Asana every day trying to track my people, when I could be spending an hour to 45 minutes talking to people. And that's what you want to focus on, because this business is about building relationships. If you look at the top of the Team Boom leaderboard, like the top 3 people I think right now are Ashley, myself, and Sydney Thompson, who's she's one of my personally sponsored coaches. None of us use Asana. None of us actually have like a formal tracking system, because we're spending most of our time talking to people instead of tracking. But that doesn't mean we don't track anything. So if someone says like, I'm going to have a baby this summer and then I'd like to jump in, I write down in my planner, follow up with, and then their handle, like in June, like if they're going to have a baby in June, I write down, follow up with so-and-so had a baby. So like in June, I'm going to look at my planner and see that handle and follow up with her. Or if someone says like, I get paid at the end of the month, I'd like to join then, I write it down. I actually ask them like, oh, when's payday? And then I write it down on their payday, follow up with so-and-so. If people just ignore me, or they say like, no thanks, or like they're interested and then they ghost me, I don't write them down anywhere, but I just scroll to the bottom of my Instagram messages and I just do follow-ups. Like I'll do follow-ups for like an hour, a couple times a week. And I just click through and send follow-ups. So, and like as far as scripts and follow-ups and stuff goes, I'm going to go into more tomorrow with Team Boom. So create systems that work for you. Like Asana works for a lot of people, but it does not work for me whatsoever. A pen and paper works so much better for me. And then also like creating your monthly marketing plan. And this is something that was in the Diamond Dash, is like focus on certain things throughout the month so that you don't become overwhelmed. So like for me, I am starting this new thing this month where the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm focusing on invites, and I'm inviting like crazy until I hit Success Club. Like that's my goal, is to hit Success Club by like the end of the first week, and then keep getting numbers the end of the second week. And then I'm going to stop on the 12th of March. So I'm not going to send any more invites the rest of the month, because then I can focus on my downline and my leadership, because I've gotten to the point where now I have a team and I need to focus on the downline and like bettering my systems as far as being that way. So like once you start having all these things you need to do, all these roles you have to take, you have to revamp your systems, because before I was inviting every single day of the month and I was just rolling people into my challenge group. But now, because I have so many different hats to wear, then I have to focus, like 2 weeks I'm focusing on getting my challengers, and I'm diving into my challenge group. And then the next 3 weeks I'm focusing on my downline and my coaches, but also running a badass challenge group so that I can talk about that. And then my content's related to that. So the last week or two, all I've been posting about pretty much is coaching, and how coaching has changed my life, and how I get to go on these team calls and like hang out with Brooke at like 11 o'clock her time. And then like posting about coaching and just these little breadcrumbs, like not being obnoxious, but like posting about it so that people know what you're doing. Then the next couple of weeks, all I'm going to post about is my challenge group. So I'm going to talk about how much weight I've lost, how many pant sizes I've lost, what book club we're doing in my challenge group, and etc. And so like your content aligns to what you're doing. And so find systems that work for you, and try things out. Like some things are going to work for you and some things aren't. And it doesn't hurt to try it for a couple weeks. Like you're not going to see results overnight. So trying for a couple days and then giving up on it isn't going to do you any good. But if you like the idea of a system, try it out for a week or two and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, figure something else out. It doesn't have to be this stressful thing, and you don't have to do what another coach is telling you to do. I have lots of girls that track their follow-ups and stuff on a spreadsheet, and like I wish I could do that, but I'm just not. I freaking hate tracking. Like it doesn't bring me any joy. And for them, they're like, look how organized I am, and like this is my tracking system, and they rock at it. But it doesn't work for me. And so my best advice is just find things that work for you and your business, and don't worry about what other people are doing, because everything's going to be different, especially if you have different markets. Does anyone have any questions? That's like pretty much all I have.
That's a lot to give.
Huh?
That's plenty. You're like, that's all I have. I'm like, that's plenty. Hi, Joe. Do you guys have any questions for her?
Hey, everyone. Yeah, can you repeat everything you just said? I'm just kidding.
Joe just hopped on because he was busy signing 2 coaches. So
yeah. Well, the second one is I might need your help, Brooke, because there's some logistical crap going on.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll talk to you about that one later.
Do you guys if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or type it into the chat box.
Or do you want me to clarify anything? Because I did just
a lot of the stuff that Kate went over is stuff that her and I have kind of chatted about. Some of the stuff that I've posted in the Liberate group, it probably sounds familiar because Kate and I have some of the same goals and action plans for the following month. So yeah, a couple of things that when her and I chatted earlier last week, because I was like, I need to figure out what I'm doing. I'm working so many hours and I'm not seeing the success in terms of Success Club points and bringing on new coaches that I'd like to be seeing. And a couple of things that she mentioned was, taking some time, and when you're in, and again, it's all stuff you've probably heard of, but hearing it from somebody else and hearing it just maybe in a different atmosphere, just something about it clicks. And so one of the things that I'm going to try doing is literally inviting for like an entire hour. I think before I'd say like, oh, I'm doing follow-ups and invites. I'm doing them, but I'm probably like doing something in between, like answering a message, and then there's notifications, and then, you know, you get all swirly. So I'm going to try to just legit invite for an entire hour. And when people write back, not write back to them. And I've heard that before. Haley Christian in her calls has said that like a bajillion times, but I've never really thought to actually do that. So that's something I'm going to try, like not getting distracted by the incoming messages. So that when I'm saying I'm inviting for an hour, it's like legit an hour.
I had a really hard time with copying and pasting invites. I thought that I was like being fake or like not authentic in the beginning. But then I realized like I was saying the same thing to everybody, just in like with some different nouns. So copy and paste doesn't mean, like, especially for your initial invite, like it doesn't mean you're being fake. Like that's literally my invite is like, hey girl, thanks for following me in my health and fitness journey. Like I'm actually opening up my open enrollment for my boot camp. Would you be interested in snagging a spot? Like, and I just copy paste that to 100 people. Yeah. It should not take you longer than an hour. It probably should take you about 45 minutes if you're just copying and pasting and you're doing the invites based on people that like your pictures, people that watch your stories, people who follow you.
I'm all about copying and pasting until they answer you. And then when they answer you, that's when you want to start personalizing it. Because, you know, if they answer, then that's when I go to their wall. And I'm a visual person, so I like to see what they look like, see if they're a mom, you know, things like that. And so that you can kind of get to know them a little bit behind the scenes and, you know, see what their specific goals are, what their current activity is. And you guys know all that. So, but yeah, I mean, to copy and paste at the beginning is totally fine. Because it's the same thing you would say to anybody that you talk to. The marketing plan, I'm 1,000% going with the marketing plan. So Moira, I think it was, in the Dash to Diamond group talked about this and how, again, it totally makes sense. I'm sure I've heard it before, but it just like took hearing it again, hearing it from her. I'm not really sure. But so I've always had a marketing plan. You guys know I put that calendar up every month. But this is kind of taking it the next step further and aligning my posts to complement those groups and when they're starting. So like if a challenge group is starting on the 10th, then you want, or the 14th, then you want people to be in there by the 9th so you can do some prep or whatnot. So people should be ordering by like the 2nd or whatever. So then, you know, at the end of the prior month, you're really hammering in your post to be about your challenge groups and all of the benefits of your challenge groups and, you know, all of so then when you're inviting to that said challenge group, it's not totally out of left field. Like people are like, oh, I've seen your post about that. Oh, that's the post that I saw the other day. You know, it kind of correlates.
I think too, one thing that stuck with me with that was like the sense of urgency. Like if you say your order needs to be in by the 12th, then people are gonna be like, okay, my order needs to be in by the 12th. And you're gonna have some that get their orders in, you're gonna have some that like dawdle. And then you do not follow up with them until your next open enrollment period. So like if they message you, then like answer them. Like don't ignore people. Like you obviously want to help people and sign people up. So just don't follow up with them. So it's like if they didn't get their order in by the 12th, like they're gonna realize, oh crap, like she actually meant like I needed to get my order in by the 12th or I wouldn't get into this challenge group. So then when you follow up with her the next month in open enrollment, you're like, hey, I'm sorry you missed out on the last challenge group, but open enrollment's open for this month. And they're going to be like, okay, yeah, if I don't sign up by the 12th, then I'm going to miss out on this one too. So it creates a sense of urgency for people. And it's not like you're BSing them like before, which this totally works too. This is what I did for my first 2 months of coaching, was I'm opening up 5 more spots into my boot camp. Who wants them? Like, I don't actually have a set amount of spots, but it creates a sense of urgency for people. So this is just another way to create a sense of urgency in a more like organized fashion, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like people are actually going to see like, oh crap, she's not messaging me anymore because she's busy running her awesome challenge group that I didn't.
And they have serious FOMO and they want to get in for next month.
Totally.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
I have a couple questions, and I apologize because I'm sure you said it. But are you 100% Instagram now, like in terms of recruiting?
Good question.
Yeah, so I tried Facebook for like 3 weeks, and I think I've maybe got one challenger from Facebook. I post on Facebook, so I'll post like a selfie, or I'll post my transformation picture or something just to get engagement and for people to be curious. But I am I'm like 99.9% Instagram.
Yeah, I've been trying to like leave Facebook, but then every time I leave, it sucks me back in, like tonight. But all right, so my second question is, oh shit, what was my second? In terms of challenge groups, do you run a brand new challenge group every month, or do you run an ongoing one?
Mine's ongoing. So I create, I have my Facebook group, and I do like a 4-week cycle. So my challenge group started on the 19th of February. We do a personal development book club. So like we're reading Mastering Your Mean Girl. So then for the next 4 weeks, we're reading and studying Mastering Your Mean Girl. We're going to do like Shakeology Shakedown. Each week is like a different thing to keep them engaged. And then there's like daily check-ins. I do like a challenger leaderboard. So if there's like 6 check-ins on Sunday night, I'll like make a leaderboard for who has the most check-ins. So it'll be like so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so all got 6. These people got 5. And so it like has like this fun leaderboard for them too. And then when the next challenge group starts, I roll it's in the same group. So everyone just automatically rolls into the next challenge group, but we do like a different book. So then people like we're not reading the same book. Like it's giving them opportunities to read a different book. And then we'll do like something else with like a different product, not just Shakeology. We'll maybe do something with like the performance line or something like that. And then I'll still do like daily check-ins and leaderboards and stuff like that. So it's still the same group, but it's on like a 4-week rotation. So there's like little things that I'll change each month. So the challenges that have been in since December don't get bored. But that seems, for me, to delete a group, you have to remove everybody out of the group and then delete it and then open up a new Facebook group, which you could do, or you could just keep making Facebook groups, but then you're going to have all these groups that you've made like throughout your coaching career. And that can get like just cluttery. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with either way, but for me, the ongoing is working really well.
Yeah, I've been doing an ongoing group for, I don't know, almost probably like 7 or 8 months now, and it's been working. My challengers love it. I did like you, I just changed sort of the theme up every month.
Yeah.
So coming out of like a Valentine's Day theme now, going into spring and stuff like that. So it definitely is working for me, but I've seen a lot of coaching videos where they say your challenge group should have closure and stuff like that. So I didn't know if I was sort of.
I think too, if someone falls off the wagon and you opened up a new challenge group and they didn't get into that new challenge group, then they're not going to see people's posts or check-ins or whatever, and they're not going to feel like, oh, I should really jump back on. But if they're in an ongoing, then like they're going to quit for a couple weeks, and then they're going to keep seeing all these transformation pictures and all these positive things, and then they're going to be like, okay, I need to get back in this. But you don't have that if you like close your group. And I mean, we're in this to help other people. And so I feel like that's like really helpful for people to keep seeing that, even if they quit.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
So I love how you do everything on Instagram, and I haven't really gotten the hang of how to like advertise like my new upcoming challenge groups on Instagram, because I don't want to post them like on my feed. I've done a lot of stuff on my story, and I haven't really seen like many results. So I was wondering how you use Instagram specifically to like advertise your next challenge group.
So basically almost every single one of my posts, probably like 90% of my posts end with an invite to something. So an invite to, they're pretty much all call to action. So either an invite to my challenge group or invite to coaching. And so I'll literally post like, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I'll post like my progress pictures for 80 Day Obsession, and I'll be like, I feel so good. I have lost, 2 pant sizes, 13 pounds in the last 30 days or whatever. And I'll just like talk about that. And then I'll say, like, this is my day 30, but it could be your day 1. Drop an emoji if you're interested in hitting up my next challenge group or my next boot camp or whatever. Or I'll post like I don't know. It could be just like a random picture, like me holding my Energize or me like holding my Shakeology. It doesn't even have to be like a progress picture, and just say something about my challenge group. Or it could be a selfie with a quote from Mastering Your Mean Girl, and then say like, in my challenge group, we're reading this book about, personal development and loving yourself and stuff like that. And it's just like breadcrumbs. Like, it's like, it doesn't have to always be like a in your face invite or like call to action, but it could be like, if you've ever felt like you're living out of fear instead of love, this, book club I'm doing in my boot camp has been amazing for my confidence and blah, 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 blah. And then you can end it. And then people are like, oh, you do book club in your boot camp? Like, and a lot of teachers like that because teachers don't read for fun. And so I think like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to read for fun. And like, you can do that in your group. So it doesn't have to be like a flat out invite. It doesn't have to be like post a picture of your challenge group or like a screenshot of your challenge group or something. It can be like a selfie or something, and just like place breadcrumbs talking about your group.
Thank you.
Also, Alex, are you adding new followers every day?
100.
Good. Awesome. So that'll help too, because then there's always going to be new eyes on your content.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Are you unfollowing people too?
With that app.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's overnight.
Hey, Kate, what's your Instagram?
At Lunges and Literacy.
There you are.
Okay. You're going to see me talking in my car about this call. So.
Outstanding.
Any more questions, guys? It's freezing.
It's like 70 degrees here.
Oh, I'm jealous. It's like 30 here. All right. If we don't have any questions, we'll let Kate go finish her dinner in peace.
Call in like 15 minutes, so I'm going to scarf it.
You have another call in 15 minutes?
My team call, yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit. You told me that. Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. We love you. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.